Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to do a little tutorial on using the library's databases so that you can find your sources for your annotated bibliography. First draft of that is due midnight on Thursday, so you've got five paragraphs to write between now and then. You've got 5 articles to read between now and then, and so maybe this will help you find some of your source information. Let me see here. I need to go into our Blackboard page, take a look at that. So let me get us into Blackboard. Right here, this is the way I get into it. I don't know. There's shorter ways to get into it. Thank goodness I've got all this stuff saved. Okay, so we're in Comp 2 here. So I want you to look at this this tab that I've got highlighted over in our menu, this online database instructions. That contains the usernames and passwords that you're going to be using for these databases. And the one at the top, I believe, I can't click on this because I don't want the entire world to see our passwords, and I'm going to be posting this to YouTube. And it's easier if I just make it public. You guys have to go through less hassle. If you go in there, the top username and password is for EBSCOhost, and that's normally going to be the username and password you use for all of these different databases because the vast majority of them come inside of EBSCOhost. You'll understand more what I'm talking about when I get to that library page, and that's what we're going to do right now. Let me reopen here. To get into the library's electronic databases, just click on this library button up here, or this library tab up at the top. When you do that, you're going to have this box of choices, and we're going to click on electronic resources. And there are these databases. These are all different databases right here. And most of them are found within EBSCOhost, so you're going to be using that one username and password. Academic Search Elite I use most of the time. Newspaper Source is another one that I use a lot. Some of the non-EBSCOhost databases that you're going to see here, one would be this Arkansas State Library. Another one would be this Discovering Collection. Another one would be LexisNexis. So those are some of the examples that are not EBSCOhost accessed, but most of the rest of these others are. We're going to use Academic Search Elite in our little demo, but you can use any of these, just whatever you think works for you. Academic Search Elite, the user ID in EBSCO is UACCB. I don't care for anyone to know that. It's the password that you need to get from the list. I don't want to share that with the world, so we'll get into our databases here. For the purposes of reading articles, you need only full text articles. So click on this full text box, and I'm going to pretend that I'm writing an article on a research paper on school uniforms. So I'm going to click on this. And so you can see here we have 224 articles that have popped up. I want to show you something here. If you click on the title of this, you've got this abstract. This is a summary of the article. Don't use that. Don't copy and paste it. Don't get your ideas from it. Don't just try to rephrase this. Read the article yourself and summarize it yourself. Okay, let me go back here. So we've got this full text article. You're going to have either PDF or HTML full text usually, and if you can, choose the PDF full text because it'll keep the page numbers that come in the original article, and page numbering is a good way of doing your in-text citations, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the semester. Okay, so I'm going to click on this PDF full text, and that's going to bring up the article in its original form, and this is that article that you're going to read. Now, I picked a 4-page article. I would invite you guys to pick the shorter articles, the 4, 5, 6-page articles, because you've got several of these. You've got 5 of these articles to read for this annotated bibliography. So you're going to read this, and then you're going to, in your paragraph, summarize it. There's another bit of information that you can copy and paste. I'm going to show you. It's that source information that begins the bibliographic part, the source part of your annotated bibliography. So if you'll go up to this print button right here, you're going to come up with this option. The citation format's already defaulted to MLA. I think that will be the case when you guys click on this print function. So if you have this, go ahead and click on print. You're going to have the print dialog box come up. You can just cancel out of that or red X out of it. Here's this information that you want right here. And so if I highlight this, I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to start a Word document. And we're going to pretend that we're starting our own annotated bibliography for this thing. So I'm just going to paste it onto my page there, and you'll notice that this thing has, for some reason, it's already in Times New Roman 12. That's great. And it's already got a hanging indent, which I had set up previously. But that's the way it's normally going to come up for you guys. It's going to come up, I'm going to show you how it's going to normally come up for you guys. It's going to normally come up this way. So when this happens, if you'll highlight everything that you've got pasted on there, go up here and change your font to whatever you want. I use Times New Roman because it's easy to see the italics in Times New Roman. All of you need to use 12-point font. That's a given. We want this thing to be double spaced, so we do that in this paragraph box. So I'm going to change everything to double spacing. And then I want it to be a hanging indent, so I'm going to grab on that bottom grabber thing, and that creates the hanging indent. Okay, so that is almost perfectly listed your source information, but EBSCO their people are careless about the way they enter this information. Excuse me while I get my hot tea ready. I've got a kind of a nagging cough today, so I'm trying to make myself able to talk to you guys. In titles, you don't capitalize articles. Articles being a, an, or the, and you don't capitalize prepositions. Now that rule does not apply if the article comes at the beginning of the title or the end of the title, or if the preposition comes at the beginning or the end, then you would capitalize them. But these are all contained inside. So we're going to change the these and this preposition here about. We're going to change those to lowercase. Other than that, this thing's in good shape. We've got the author's last name and the first name, and in quotation marks the title of the article. We've got italicized the name of the journal. We've got the volume 92, the issue 6. They're listed in this way. You don't spell out volume or issue. We've got the publication year, no month, no season. We've got the page range inside that article. Then we've got an italicized database. Remember, we clicked on Academic Search Elite. It is a web source, and we accessed it today, so it lists 24 June 2014. So that source information there is listed the way that it's supposed to be. Now we want to write our summary. As you can see, it's trying to line up with this far left-hand margin here, but we want our paragraph to be scooted over a ½ inch, and then that first line of the paragraph another ½ inch. So I'll just go to this top grabber right here on the ruler, and I'm going to pull the first line over so that it's indented thus. And I'm going to make up the idea. Let me see. I need to see something here. What this paragraph says. Oh, we want, on spacing, we want to change spacing to 0 point on this. All right, because we had extra spacing going on there. Whoops. Why is this happening like that? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to say this article compares the school uniform policies found in Great Britain and the United States. Now, I've just made this up, but I can guess that that's something about that. And your summaries, the end of your summary needs to have some statement as to whether or not this article is going to be useful or not useful in your paper, and why or why not. So this article will be useful for my research purposes because it is based on scientific research methods. I made that up. But anyway, that's an example of what we're trying to do here. So going to stop this video and post it on YouTube, and remember that you guys have got to have first draft of your annotated bibliography of the 5 summaries by midnight Thursday, so you've got a lot of work to do in between now and then. Good luck.